sunken ruins of the temple, you find a grotto leading deep below the sea level. Much of the grotto is submerged underwater. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, a progression-style playthrough series of the Lord of the Rings living card game. I'm playing the fourth quest from the Dream Chaser cycle, the Drowned Ruins. So, set up ability on Aeon. Reduce my threat by 3. The main gimmick in this quest is the grotto/underwater locations. They're double-sided. They have their own special deck. Technically, the grotto sides should be face-up, but Octagon obviously is a bit weird with double-sided cards in decks. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to be looking at them, even though you can. If a grotto location is explored, it is shuffled back into the grotto deck. If it is explored when it's on its underwater side, it has victory points and goes to the victory display. Set Shrine to Morgoth aside out of play. Prepare the grotto deck. Add the top 2 locations from the grotto deck to the staging area. Grotto side face up. The top 3 instead if there are 3 or more players in the game. So, Control-Shift-E, Undersea Grotto and Waterlogged Halls. They all have response after you travel there. You may flip to the underwater side. So this one, while it's the active location, reduce the cost of the first ally played by the players each round by 1. That's pretty great. And this one, while it's the active location, each undead enemy in play gets -1 threat. That's reasonable. The first player takes control of Captain Sahir, and the last player takes control of Nasir. Objective ally sides face up. So, I already mulliganed this hand. It's still not great. I would like to have something like Elven Light that I can immediately discard to Arwen, or some immediate card draw would be good. This hand, it would be nice to, I suppose it is nice to start with double back, since obviously that's a 1 in the deck. It would be nice to start with King Under the Mountain here, but since I have Send for Aid, I'm inclined to keep this one. So, that's where we are. While an underwater location is the active location, players cannot play attachments or allies. This is very important to remember because you just get so used to playing the game normally, where you just play cards. So, it's very important to keep in mind at all times. When you travel to an underwater location, you basically can't play anything in the next planning phase. Except side quests. It is because of me forgetting this that this is actually the 3rd time I've tried to record this. Because it probably wouldn't have stopped me winning the quest in the long run, but I want to do this correctly, and I keep travelling to underwater locations and then just playing allies and detachments like normal. Forced, after a double-sided location is explored, add the top location from the grotto deck to the staging area, grotto side face up. You cannot advance unless there are at least 3 underwater locations in the victory display. So with that, Control-N, begin the quest. Okay. Okay, well, Glorfindel is something I can immediately discard to Arwen to add a resource to Galadriel. Since I have no Nenya, I will immediately exhaust Galadriel to lower my threat by 1 and draw a card. Deep Knowledge, which I will immediately play. Doomed 2, draw 2. Well, so much for using Send for Aid to get Glorfindel into play. We are not idle just to draw a card. Obviously I could exhaust Thalin to get an extra resource. I would consider doing that if I had King Under the Mountain in play, because that would allow me to immediately play it without using up a good harvest, but never mind. Send for Aid. That's the most important thing, really. Let's also play this Honor Guard. Over here, play double back. And play this Handmaiden, reduce my threat by 1. There is 4 threat in the staging area. I would like to make 6 progress. A quest for 3, 7, 8. Narcia quests without exhausting because of Galadriel. So 9, 12, 14. With Argalad ready to reduce the threat of an enemy, assuming I reveal one. Of course, I could instead just go for double back first. I do have Elrond's Council available, the extra 1. So yeah, let's go send for aid. Tangling and Grasping. When revealed, each player must remove a character from the quest. If the active location is underwater, deal 2 damage to each character removed from the quest by this effect. Okay, I remove Tharlin and Narcia. So that removes 2 willpower. And then Drowned Dead does not take a damage from Tharlin because I just removed him from the quest. But that adds 2 threat. However, Argalad, action, exhaust Argalad to choose an enemy in the staging area. Until the end of the phase, that enemy gets -X threat, where X is Argalad's attack. If this effect reduces the enemy's threat to 0, deal 1 damage to it. Limit once per round. Argalad has 2 attack. The Drowned Dead has 2 threat. So that's reduced to 0, and I deal a damage. And I still have only 4 threat in the staging area. I explore Send for Aid. Search the top 10 cards of my deck for an ally to put into play. Okay, the only option is this Galvan Archer. I just play it and deals the damage to the Drowned Dead in the staging area. It's a shame, obviously I was hoping for Anborn, but never mind. Over here I definitely can't get Glorfindel because I've drawn all 3 copies already. Let's see. Well, there's no damage on the table for the Warden of Healing, so I guess stick with the Sylvan theme, bring in a Minstrel, shuffle my deck and then trigger the Minstrel, searching the top 5 cards of my deck for an event. Daeron's Runes, and then shuffle again, and then let's play the Daeron's Runes. Draw 2 cards, discard Glorfindel. Okay, so I don't want to engage this Drowned Dead, and I don't have to. Let's travel to the Undersea Grotto. And that will be it for the round. These objective allies swap sides. In the refresh phase, Control N, new round. Okay, still no Nenya, so I can immediately just exhaust Galadriel, gather information, play that. So, okay, I do have Sneak Attack Gandalf as an option, but I don't think it's so crucial right now. I'm going to play Campfire Tales. Okay, Dunedain Mark is nice, and a Deep Knowledge. More draw. Suddenly could be good. Okay, I'm going to pay 1 with the discount from the Undersea Grotto for a Glathan Minstrel. Search the top 5 cards of my deck for an event. I already have Secret Paths in my hand, so let's take Daeron's Runes instead. Shuffle, and then play Daeron's Runes. Actually, no. Let me think. Do I want to play Deep Knowledge? I think I do. So, Deep Knowledge. Dooms 2. And draw 2. Okay. Now Daeron's Runes. just because obviously this way I have more options for the discard. So, discard Glorfindel. Well, I suppose I could always discard Glorfindel, but now I also have more options for the Arwen discard, which I haven't done yet. Play Light of Valinor onto Argalad. Do you have 3 Ancient Madams here? Probably overkill. So let's discard an Ancient Madam to add a resource to Galadriel, and then play an Ancient Madam onto the active location. And I think this deck is not playing anything other than that Campfire Tales. I can wait for a 3-threat enemy for the Secret Vigil. So now, do I want to get my threat down immediately by going to double back, or do I want to go for Gather Information? I'm trying to remember the engagement costs. I think I'm okay to go for Gather Information. I think anything... Well, I'm already over... Well, I suppose that's the point. If I explore double back, then I'll definitely go below some engagement costs. So, yeah, okay, let's go double back. Let's be safe about it. There's 4 threat in the staging area. Request for 3, 7, 8, 11, 13, 15, 16, 17. Should be fine. And we reveal Ancient Depths. Add the top location from the grotto deck to the staging area and flip that location to its underwater side. This effect cannot be cancelled. So it is a Dark Abyss, 5 threat. While it's the active location, characters cannot attack. And if it's the active location at the end of the quest phase, deal 1 damage to each character in play, then you may flip it to its grotto side. And card 2, a Cave Eel, which takes 1 damage from Tharlin. Okay, so I want to leave the Cave Eel because I can put a Secret Vigil on it. I have added 8 threat to the staging area, but if I exhaust Argalad targeting the drowned dead, its threat is reduced to 0, it takes a damage and is killed. So I'm now down to 10 threat in the staging area, meaning I make 7 progress, which is exactly enough to explore the undersea grotto and double back. So, triggering the Ancient Madam, drawing 3 cards, and also reducing threats by 5. And I just explored not an underwater location, a double-sided location, so I add the top card of the grotto deck, Cursed Caverns. After the players explore Cursed Caverns as the active location, each player may raise his threat by 2 to draw the bottom card of his deck. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about that option. It is more threat than the Waterlogged Halls, though if I reveal Undead, well, I don't know that that's such a big deal, though. I definitely want to play some attachments and possibly allies, so I definitely don't want to go to the Dark Abyss. Let's go Cursed Caverns. And Control N. Swap over objective allies again. Okay. So, very definitely putting a secret vigil onto the cave-eel. Now I could just play this Galvan Archer to immediately pop that and save Argalad for something else. I will definitely put the Dunedain Mark onto Argalad, so he now has 3 attack, which is enough to handle the threat of anything in this quest. I think. As far as I remember. So, yeah, in the interest of just keeping everything clear, let's just do that right away. Reduce both decks' threat by 3. And over here, actually, okay, hang on. I'm going to use Galadriel on this deck, and if I draw... okay, no, sneak attack. If I'd drawn King Under the Mountain, then I would have taken that back and probably gone for a good harvest, King Under the Mountain. But just sneak attack, not so bothered. Over here... well, let's discard Light of Valinor to add a resource to Galadriel. Put an Ancient Madam on the active location. I suppose Secret Paths could be a thing, so I should not play Gunberry Gun right away. There's 7 threat in the staging area. Questing for 3, 7, 8, 11, 13, 15, 17. Going to gather information now. Just on the off chance, I'm going to send Captain Sahir. If I find myself 1 willpower short, I can transfer a resource to him to increase his willpower. Okay, Drowned Dead takes damage from Farlin, and Cave Eel takes damage from Farlin. I exhaust Argalad targeting the Cave Eel, which is killed, so I've only added 2 threat. I make 8 progress, which is 1 short. Play Elrond's Council. That's increasing my willpower by 1, so I make 9 progress. 5 here, 4 here. Let me just check that I haven't accidentally discarded any grottos. I have not. So this is shuffled back in. This is discarded. This goes to the victory display. So this deck draws 3 cards for the Ancient Madam. And then searches the entire deck for a card, which, I mean, it's going to be King Under the Mountain. And this deck, I search, and, ooh, Nenya, actually. I was thinking Elven Light. Elven Light helps with the draw, I suppose, so it increases the chances of finding Nenya. Now I just killed that cave eel, also I add a new grotto, Undersea Grotto, okay. Let's travel there. I just killed that cave eel, who of course was otherwise a good target for Secret Vigil, though my threats are doing pretty great at this point. I could use Hail of Stuns to immediately kill this Drowned Dead if I really wanted to. It's not that big a deal. So, Control aim. Switch over my objective allies. Now I'm definitely getting to the point where I really should be starting to do some underwater locations and the regular quest. So let's play Gunberry Gun. Actually no, let's play the Minstrel. So it's the top 5 cards of my deck for an event. I'll take an Elven Knight. Exhaust Galadriel. Lower my threat, draw a card. Oh, that should have been only 1 for the Minstrel because of the Undersea Grotto. Over here. Good Harvest, Leadership. Play King Under the Mountain. And immediately use it. Okay, I only need 1 Anborn. I suppose I shouldn't need... Well, I shouldn't need any close calls, but I certainly shouldn't need more than 1. But either way. Okay, there is 9 threat in the staging area. Quest for 3, 7, 8... 11, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. Sea Scorpion takes damage from Tharlin. Ancient Depths. Okay. So it's a sunken temple. Once the active location, treat each attachment as if its printed text box is blank except for traits. Notes the active location at the end of the quest phase. Discard 1 resource from each objective ally and each hero's resource pool, then may flip it to its grotto side. Okay, so that's added 5 threat to the staging area. So let's exhaust Argalad. Yeah, let's exhaust Argalad, targeting the drowned dead. Followed by 2, and yeah, actually that's Hail of Stones. Exhausting 3 characters and kill the Sea Scorpion. Also reducing the threat by 2. So I make 8 progress. 3 goes here. 5 on the quest. Just explode a double-sided location, so I add another one to the staging area. Now I definitely, I think, should be going for an underwater location. So Sunken Temple seems like the obvious choice. This does blank my attachments. But okay. Control aim. Objective allies. Swap sides. Scout Elven Light. 2 add a resource to Galadriel. Pull it back to my hand to draw a card. I cannot play allies or attachments, but dooms to and okay, so I found Nenya. Probably next round I'll not be underwater and therefore be able to play some of this stuff. Okay, there's 2, 7, 9, 12 threat in the staging area. Request for 3, 7, 8, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm gonna sneak attack Gandalf. And I guess drop my threat. So that was 4, 7, 11, 12, 15, 17, 20, and we reveal Drowned Cave. And Tangling and Grasping. Each player must remove a character from the quest if the active location is underwater, which it is. Deal 2 damage to each character removed from the quest by this effect. So okay, I'll remove Sahir. He takes 2 damage. And I will remove a Minstrel, who dies. I lose 1 willpower. I've added 3 threat to the stage. Is this right? 2, 7, 12, 15. Yep. I exhaust Argalad and kill the drowned dead in the staging area. So now it's 13. I'm making 6 progress. I need 10. So I play Secret Paths and cancel the threat of the Dark Abyss, reducing the threat in the staging area by 5. So I make 11 progress. 10 goes here, 1 goes here. I just explored a double-sided location. So, waterlogged halls, okay. Gandalf comes back to my hand. The active location is no longer underwater, attachments are no longer blank. I can trigger King Under the Mountain. Not that bothered about the Gandalfs. I'll take the Honor Guard. Okay, so now I definitely want to travel somewhere that's not underwater. So, yeah, let's go to Cursed Caverns. And Control N. I suppose actually I could have cancelled one of the damage to Sahir. Not that it's that important. And, okay, yeah, I should do King Under the Mountain first. Discarding the Hobbit Cloak. And over here, okay. Nenya, finally. Gunberry Gun. Handmaiden. And over here, let's see, I can play Build a Pony for free. I don't have a good harvest. I've only played one, so there are 2 more copies. Obviously that would be the easy way to allow me to play Anborn. I'm going to use Galadriel on this deck. Okay. We're not idle. I'm going to exhaust Tharlin to add a resource to Sam and draw the card, and there's the good harvest, so I didn't actually need extra resource, but I had to decide before seeing what the card was. So, good harvest, leadership. So let's see, I want to spend 4, so I definitely get Anborn into play. Let's make it 5 for the Hobbit Cloak. Actually, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm ever going to engage an enemy this entire game. That's obviously the plan, so no real need for the Hobbit Cloak. That being the case, doesn't help for sneak attacking Gandalf, because Good Harvest only lasts until the end of the phase. I'll just play my second Honor Guard. And okay. So there's 2, 4, 9, 12 threat in the staging area. Quest for 3, 7, 8. 11, 13, 16, 18, 20, 22, yep, okay, 22. Because the downfall can deal 1 damage to each non-objective ally with printed cost 2 or less. Place each ally destroyed by this effect on the bottom of its owner's deck. Okay, so yeah, I'm okay with this. So these 2 Galvan Archers go to the bottom of the deck. Build a Pony takes 1 damage. The Honor Guards take 1 damage. The Honor Guards exhaust to cancel the damage to my Galadriel's Handmaidens. Gunberry Gun takes 1 damage. These 2 Minstrels go to the bottom of the deck. I lose 2 willpower. Not that big a deal. Sea Scorpion, Tharlin is not questing, so no damage. But I will exhaust Argalad to deal its damage. Sorry, I'll exhaust Anborn to deal its damage. Then I'll exhaust Argalad to drop its threat to 0 and deal its damage. So I have added no threat to the staging area. I make 8 progress. Assuming there's nothing I want to do to increase that. I don't think so. So 5 there, 3 here. This is explored, shuffled back into the Grotto deck. That replaced. That might be the same one, I can't tell. Let's pay 3 for the Galadriel's Greeting. Drop my threat by 6. Because why not? Oh, I would like to get the Warden of Healing into play. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. Okay. How many copies of Curse of the Downfallen are there? I feel like it's 2. But I'm not sure. So the safe option here is to stall out another round. Well, I suppose maybe what I want to do is... Yeah, okay. I'll go to the Dark Abyss. Control N. So the Dark Abyss stops me attacking, right? Yeah, that's obviously fine, because attacking is not a thing that I do. Because engaging enemies is not a thing that I do. I cannot play allies or attachments. Let's hold on to the archer. So, I cannot play allies or attachments. Continuing to remind myself of this. This all looks fine. So, threatened staging areas 2, 4, 2, 4, 7, 9, 12. I need to make 12 progress. I can sneak attack Gandalf if I want to. 3, 7, 8, 9. 12, 16, 18, 23. Yeah, let's sneak attack Gandalf. Drop my threat. Maybe I just nuke the Sea Scorpion. Just nuke the Sea Scorpion. Sure. I've obviously lost track of my willpower again, so 12, 13, 16, 18, 23, 27. Yes. Okay, and we reveal Soulless Cadaver takes damage from Tharman. Curse of the Downfallen, which I will cancel with one of my 3 tests of will. Okay, so I've added 3 threat to the staging area, but then I exhaust Argalad and remove that 3 threat from the staging area and also deal the damage. Oh, also, sorry, I should have used Anborn when it was revealed to deal another damage. So I've added no threat. I make 17 progress, which means another 5 on here. I still need 1 more underwater location into the victory display before I can advance the quest. I believe. I will just check that. Yep, of course, because of... Yeah, Octagon is confused by double-sided cards. So these are the wrong way around, but still there are 2 in there. at the end of the quest phase. Gandalf pops back to my hand. Let's use Galadriel. Of course, I just explored a double-sided location, so get another one. Now, okay, I have to go to... If I want to stay underwater, which seems a reasonable idea, then I have to go blind. So I suppose... no, it doesn't really matter. Wait, hang on. Why have I not played Glorfindel from my discard pile with all of these resources? So I would not have anticipated using more than one test of will. So it would have been entirely sensible for me to play Glorfindel. So I'm just going to allow myself that retcon, which means there's 3 more progress here. I don't actually remember if I used Arwen this round. Doesn't look like I did. So, also discard Elven Light, add a resource to Galadriel. Then, Cursed Caverns is the highest threat, so travel there, and flip it to its underwater side. Twisting Hollow. While it's the active location, characters cannot ready from card effects. The Twisting Hollow is the active location at the end of the quest phase. Each player must discard 1 character, then you may flip it to its grotto's side. It's not going to be a problem in the encounter phase. If no enemies were engaged in this phase, deal 1 damage to each enemy in the staging area. So let's do that. There's only 1 enemy in the staging area, but it dies from 1 more damage. So I'm pretty okay with that. These 2 swap sides again. I'm still underwater. Oh no, wait! That's the whole thing. I couldn't have played Glorfindel because I was underwater. Put him back. I should have played him before I went underwater, but I didn't think about it, so, you know, whatever. I'm sure it will work out fine. King of the Mountain. Okay, I found my last sneak attack. That's great. So, there is 2, 5, 9 threat in the staging area. I will sneak attack Gandalf. And lower my threat. Quest for 12, 13, 16, 18, 22, 24. Okay, question for 24. We reveal powerful undertow, counterfeit the active location this round. If it's underwater, resolve the force effect if it is the end of the quest phase. Each player must discard one character. I'd rather not. So, test of will. And Throngs of Unfaithful, take a damage from Farlin, take a damage from Argalad, and Born, and then take a damage from Argalad. So that's no threat added to the staging area. So I make 15 progress, which is exactly enough. So 14 goes here. 1 goes here. There we go. I have 3 underwater locations in the victory display and enough progress. I think I would still have to bring in a new grotto. Always safer to take the harder option, of course, as is standard. And now we advance the quest. In the centre of the shrine, reverently placed on a large altar, lies a long black chest. As soon as you get close, Sahir knocks one of the heroes over and grabs it. When revealed, make the set-aside shrine to Morgoth the active location, grotto side face up. Cannot have attachments, cannot enter the staging area. Forced at the beginning of the quest phase, flip it to its underwater side without removing its progress tokens. When it's placed in the victory display, the players have escaped from the flooded grotto and win the game. Captain Sahir flips to his enemy side, removing all tokens, and makes an immediate attack against the first player. This is why I didn't quest with this handmaiden. Okay, handmaiden is dead. This damage should be gone. Remove Captain Sahir from the game. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for an undead enemy and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. So, yeah, obviously, it probably didn't come as a surprise to many, if any, people that Sahir betrayed us, but it did surprise me a bit just how perfunctory his betrayal was. He flips, makes an attack, and then is removed from the game, and that's it. So, let's take the additional Throngs of Unfaithful, because they are low threat. And Drowned Dead. And you dive at Sahir, but he swiftly runs to the entrance, laughing as he seals you in. "Captain, what about me?" Nasia screams angrily. I suppose I didn't scream that angrily. Anyway, as soon as the entrance is sealed shut, the walls shudder and water begins to leak in rapidly from the ceiling and walls. "We have to get out of here," the heroes shout as the water level starts to rise. While an underwater location is the active location, players cannot play attachments or allies, but currently this Shrine to Morgoth is grotto side face up, and it doesn't flip until the beginning of the quest phase. So until then, I will get one planning phase where I can play things. Okay, Gandalf comes back to my hand. I'm going to exhaust Galadriel to lower my threat and draw a card. I'm going to remember her to trigger Arwen's ability, discarding Elven Light. And then pull it back, and pull it back again. Okay. Well, let's play Hail of Stones, exhausting Nasia and the 2 Honor Guards to deal 3 damage to the drowned dead. And Control N. New round, this should be the final round. Nasia moves over to here. The King Under the Mountain. Discard Feint. Play We Are Not Idle, draw another card. Play Campfire Tales. Draw a couple more cards. Okay, let's put a Secret Vigil on this Throngs of Unfaithful. So, of course, when Throngs of Unfaithful is destroyed, discard the bottom card of the engaged player's deck. If that card's printed cost is 2 or less, return Throngs of Unfaithful to the top of the encounter deck. If it's not engaged, presumably, that just doesn't do anything. And now let's pay 5 for Gandalf. And drop my threat by 5. Suppose I should play the side quests, but it really doesn't matter. Discard Elven Might to add resource to Galadriel. So I may want to save for these secret paths, but Galadriel's resources are flexible. So here I'm just thinking about how can I maximize my score. Not that I care that much, but obviously maximizing my score would mean getting as much threat reduction as possible. So I have potentially 9 spirit resources. How much threat is in the staging area? 2, 4, 7, 9, 11... Oh. Yeah, actually I'm not sure if I can kill this with the Secret Vigil, because the Secret Vigil is reducing its threat to 0. So if I exhaust Argalad, then it's not him reducing it to 0. It's already 0. I'm just going to take that back. It's not that big a deal anyway. Um... 2, 4, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13 threat. And let's just start counting up my willpower now, since it may influence what I play. 3, 7, 8, 9, 13, 16, 18, 23, 25... I need to make 18 progress. So I think it's definitely going to be a good idea to play this Handmaiden. There we go. For some reason that wasn't responding. Reduce my threat by 1, increase my willpower by 2. I suppose I should just quest with Nasia. 2 copies of Elrond's Council. It's just simpler to total all this up in advance. So Glorfindel would be another 3. But then I couldn't afford the Glavrim's Greeting. I can play this Mirkwood Pioneer. He's an extra 1 willpower. I could trigger his optional Doomed to cancel the threat of the Drowned Cave. But honestly, I feel like that's overkill. So yeah, I think this is fine. I'm going to also play Glavrim's Greeting. Drop this dex threat by 6. So I'm questing for 31 against 13. This is after, of course, flipping this. Cannot have attachments, cannot enter the staging area. Reach the active location at the end of the quest phase, raise each player's threat by 5. Well, that's not really going to cause me any problems. And when it's placed in the victory display, the players have escaped from the flooded grotto and win the game. So, we reveal Powerful Undertow. Okay, so that would resolve the forced effect and raise each player's threat by 5. I could take that, but honestly, I'd rather not, and at this point, I don't think any of the other treacheries are really going to cause me problems. For example, this. Each player chooses a card type and discards each card in his hand that is not of the chosen card type. If no cards are discarded by this effect into the Abyss gains Surge. Earlier in the game, this might have been a problem, though a lot of my useful cards are events anyway. At this point, since I'm about to win, I really don't care about discarding a load of cards. Still going to hold on to the events. And obviously yeah, okay, right. So that was my staging. I Argalad these Throngs of Unfaithful. I can play 2 copies of Secret Paths, dropping the threat in the staging area by an additional 5. Down to 7. I can exhaust Galadriel. Let's drop this dex threat by 1. I'll draw a card. Good harvest. I suppose. Okay, so actually, really, I should have made it this deck. Okay, would not have affected my ability to get a better score by lowering my threat, so doesn't actually matter. Okay, so I make 24 progress out of the required 18. This goes to the victory display. And I win the game. So that's the Drowned Ruins. Obviously, my particular strategy was very effective. This is something that I try not to do too often, because if you can get a setup where you reliably never engage any enemies and kill everything in the staging area, it can get a bit boring, but it works very nicely with Argalad, so showed it off here. The quest, there's nothing particularly wrong with it, other than it can drag on a bit. There's nothing particularly amazing about it either. It's fine. There are probably some people who rather like it. For me, it's just very middle of the road and can take a while, because you keep wanting to play allies and detachments, and you can't do that while you're at the underwater locations, and you need to play a decent number of allies and attachments to have enough willpower to quest through the underwater locations with their very high quest point values. Anyway, this all went very well. Next up, Storm on Cobus Haven, a much more interesting quest. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Goodbye.